Right, so this is 4.7. We're going to break this up into a couple parts, but we're getting into what is called slope-intercept form. All right, so slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And we've talked about what m is, and m is the slope. So if we look at this, we have y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, which we've been working on finding for the past couple of days, and b stands for the y-intercept. And if you remember, if there's a graph here and we draw a line, the y-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. When we are dealing with graphs and lines, the slope is the rate at which the line changes. So the steepness, if it goes up, over, up and over, or down, depending if it's positive or negative. And our b, in relation to graphs and things, is our what we call our starting point, but it is where it crosses the y-axis. In dealing with data and real-life trends with cause and effect and relationships between two items, it would be kind of our starting point of our data. If you ever have science, that's kind of an important part with that. In drawing an equation to be able to predict future events if there is a relationship between things. So we've talked about, and we're going to practice it more in section 4.2, how we solve for y, which is how we do this problem, but we're not even going to get too heavy into that. But we call it slope-intercept form because when we are in this form, we can very quickly identify the slope and the y-intercept. So that's what you're going to write in there. I'm going to type it in because, wow, that's some big letters. Let me change that. Because we can easily identify the slope and y-intercept. That's why we call it slope-intercept form. So the main thing, and this is a very quick introduction to slope-intercept form and why it's important to get it in this form sometimes, we can then very quickly say, hey, what's our rate of change, or what's our slope, and what is our y-intercept based on this problem. And when we go into graphing lines, this will make graphing lines a lot easier than doing our XY chart and finding points or finding our X and Y intercepts to graph that way. It just makes things easier. So, but you have to understand it first. So here is the key that we're going to be practicing today is identifying our slope and our y-intercept when it's in slope-intercept form. If you look at this one, our m in this problem is -2. Now, a common thing people will say it's -2x. It's not. Only the m is the slope. The x is our input or our variable or our domain. The y, is our output, our range. So the m is the slope, not the x. The x has nothing to do with this m. All right, so it's just basically the coefficient that's attached to x. So our slope is -2, and our y, which is our b, is going to be +4. So I want to make sure I associate the value of that plus with our b. So this would be +4. Over here, our m would be 1/3, and our b would be -6. All right. Now, we're not going to get into this today, but we will get into it pretty soon. But you can see this. We don't have, this is not in slope-intercept form. It is in standard form. So in section 4.2, we talked about solving for y. It's a two-step problem. So I'm going to write this problem over here and do it. 2x plus 2y equals 6. So if I'm going to solve for y, that will put it in slope-intercept form for me. So I'm going to subtract my 2x from both sides and rewrite 2y equals, and this is why I always put that -2x first, because then it puts it into the slope-intercept form. So -2x and then a +6. All right, and then my next step would be to divide by 2. Then that gives me, when I rewrite this, y equals -2 divided by 2 is -1 x, and then +3, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now we can easily identify our slope and y-intercept. Our m in this problem, -1, and our b in this problem, or our y-intercept, is 3. There's a couple more you need to be aware of. I'm just going to write a few more problems. So y equals x plus 4, y equals -x minus 2, and y equals 4x. All right, so here's just 3 additional problems to practice that you will see, and this is how we identify the slope and y-intercept on these. So m for this one, if there's no coefficient or you don't see it, we assume there's a 1 there. So if you just see a variable by itself and they ask you what's the coefficient, it's not x, it's 1. Remember, we can think of a 1 as being there. And our b, of course, is 4. For this one, our m, because it's a -x, would then be a -1. So if you just see the negative without a number, then make sure you know that it's a 1, in this case -1. Our b here would be -2 because that's a -2 there. For this problem, our m, now it doesn't look like it's in slope-intercept form because it just says y equals 4x, but that is our slope. So our m is 4, and our b, there's no b there, so we think of it as it's just 0. All right, we can think of it as, if we're thinking of it in terms of y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus 0. There's nothing there, so that's how we would identify our y-intercept. If you don't see it there, we just call it 0.